Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is Billy.
Hi.
And here's where we'll share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. I thought it would be fun if we did a July recap, especially since, we're a week and a half or so into August. July's been pretty busy here, so let's start with the obvious big news. We have a channel! This is going to be our 4th episode, and it is definitely a learning process. We're changing things around, trying to work on the lights and the sound, trying to learn editing as we go. So thank you for bearing with us as we do it. We're going to keep working to get better, and hopefully you'll keep watching as we do. In July, we managed 48 plays of 22 games. Not too bad, not that great, but sometimes life just gets in the way. There's that pesky work thing, and the fact that half our family doesn't really enjoy playing games. So we try not to force them to play anything that they wouldn't enjoy, and that does mean we should spend a little bit of time with them as well. I need to remember how much time we get for gameplays when I start backing large games on Kickstarter or going on huge shopping sprees, but we're trying to take care of that right now. Of the 22 games, 11 were new to us and 11 were off of our shelves. I thought instead of me going through every game that I played, we'd have a little bit of fun as July comes to a close and we graduate into August. So I thought it would be more fun to do a few class superlatives. The award for most popular in the month of July goes to Railroad Inc. and Welcome To. These games got the most play, so I think that July was just really busy and we liked small, quick roll and writes. It helped that we played a little bit on BGA, so that got these a lot more plays than they would have seen. There's not much that hasn't been said about Welcome To or Railroad Inc., so I'm not going to describe them for you, except to know that if you're looking for a flip and write or a roll and write, obviously these are the ones that come to the table for us the most often. So you're going to find them coming out at night, at lunch breaks. It's great that there's implementation on BGA. That makes it so much easier, and I can play with family that's not here and friends, and so we get a lot more of these games in. We did get the new Lush Green Challenge edition of Railroad Inc., but I'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the games that came in July. The award for First in Class goes to New York Zoo and Botanik. These get first in class for being the first 2 games that I reviewed on this channel. So if you want to take a look at what we had to say about these 2 games, go ahead and have a look. The links will be down below. Obviously, we chose these 2 games to go first because they're some of our favorites. New York Zoo is a polyomino race game, and Botanik is a tile drafting, tile building strategy game for 2 players. Have a look at our reviews and let us know what you think. The award for Best Team Players goes to Skulking and Unstable Unicorns. We finally got to visit with family, which means that we played some games that everyone could play. We taught my mom how to play Skulking, and she loved it. She did great. She played with all the expansions. She played with the mermaids and the kraken, the white whale, everything. The only thing we didn't use was the powers on the pirate cards. We only used the pirates to defeat all the numbered cards. Other than that, she did great. We've always played Pinnacle since I was a child, so that means that she already knew the mechanics of trick taking, and we just had to give her the flavor of the game. I think this one's going to come out often when we get together. It's fun. We can expand the player count. It's a good trick taking game, and everybody's been enjoying it that we've showed it to. The other game we played with family is not one that I have here in the collection, but it's Unstable Unicorns. Got to spend some time down at the beach with my sister and her family and played this adorable game of collecting unicorns. You're just trying to get 7 unicorns into your stable while everyone at the table tries to keep you from doing that. Fun, cute, quick game. The award for Class Clown goes to Don't Get Got. We got the Shut Up and Sit Down edition and finally managed to take it out at a picnic up at my mom's house at the lake. It was a lot of fun. My poor niece drew the task of getting someone to say hurry up to her and spent the entire day while we were playing games stretching out her turns playing Unstable Unicorns, getting up and going and just standing in the bathroom and just waiting for someone to yell. And we yelled everything at her except hurry up. So once it was over, we laughed really hard that of all the things that she couldn't get us to say, it was simply hurry up. We laughed and made people do crazy things like spin around and hiss like a cat, but it was all in good fun. Everyone had a great time. I think that we're going to take this out maybe when we go on a week-long camping trip and we can extend the length of the game. It would be a lot of fun. The award for most studious, and by that I mean sitting in our game library and not getting nearly as much table time as it should, goes to Five Tribes and Tiny Epic Galaxies. Five Tribes is a classic. I think it's one of the first board games I was given as a gift. It's got a Mancala style mechanic that we love. It seems simple, but it takes a while to see those patterns on the board. I'm definitely nowhere near as good at it as I'd like to be. It was fun to take it back out to the table. I even got to try it solo. So we're looking to take some of those games out and play them. Play your shelves. That's why we have all these games. The other game in this category was Tiny Epic Galaxies, a solid game in the Tiny Epic series, and I seem to have a Tiny Epic game buying problem. I own almost all of the Tiny Epic games. We love most of them, and yet they sit in a beautiful, neat little row on the top of the shelf. They don't get to the game table as often as they should, and we're going to have to try and work on that in the next couple of months. The award for cutest couple of games goes to the Buttonshy Games we played this month, which would be Banned Books, Circle the Wagons, and Ugly Griffin Inn. There are more, but you'll see them later in the awards. Banned Books is a solo game exclusively built around the theme of banned library books. As a lit major, I couldn't pass this one up. Only got to play it once, but really enjoyed it. Looking forward to playing it some more. Circle the Wagons is one of the first games we bought from Buttonshy, kind of a classic. It has a really unique card drafting mechanism where when you're drafting your card, the cards are in a circle, and you can pick any card as far ahead in the circle as you want, but anything you skip immediately gets given to your opponent. So it really makes the choices much more difficult. In a tiny little 18 card game, there is a ton of strategy packed into that one. It's a classic. If you haven't played it, check it out. And I also played Ugly Griffin Inn, again, an exclusively solo game. Had a lot of fun. The artwork on this is absolutely adorable. And looking forward to spending a little more time with those solo games if I, get a quiet minute to myself. The award for most independent goes to A Gentle Rain and Orchard, two of the solo exclusive games that I really enjoy. Orchard is a card placement, dice placement strategy game where you're just growing your orchard, matching colors. It's very relaxing until you can't beat your own score and you just keep going back and trying again. And A Gentle Rain is one of the most beautiful solo games I've seen. It actually tells you in the instructions to be calm, make a cup of tea, take a deep breath. The colors are so deep and rich as you build out this pond where if you match up the tiles correctly, you can place water lilies onto it. It's beautiful, it's calming, and I play that 3-4 times at a sitting just because I love the relaxing feel of that game. And also because I want to beat my score. The award for Best Friends goes to Silver Series. We just recently did an episode about the Silver Series, ranking which decks we like the most. Spoiler alert, it wasn't Silver Bullet. We had a lot of fun doing this with our friends Jeff and Jamie over at Foster the Meeple. This is just a great collection of games. They can be mixed together or played separately, and we've been having a lot of fun with it over the last month or two. The award for Most Mysterious goes to Cunning Folk. This is another of the Buttonshy games, and this one was the biggest surprise to us. It is a bluffing and deduction game. You just put 9 of the cards face down in the center of the table, and much like Coup, you're going to look at the card and then declare what you saw. Now, you may or may not tell the truth, but you also may or may not get called out on it. We have a great time accusing each other of lying and trying to remember what card is where on the board. Lots of fun. If you're looking for a quick little deduction game, I highly recommend Cunning Folk. It is our favorite of the Buttonshy games that we got this month. The award for Best Personality, or I ran out of categories, goes to Overboss, Brew, and Fort. These are 3 great games, and I'm not sure why they got lumped together into Best Personality. We played Overboss a couple of times, mixing in all the different variations. I'm really enjoying this. Bought this on the recommendation of Jeff and Jamie and have been really happy with it the whole time. It's a tile placement game. It's just quick and good fun. Fort from Leader Games is another one that we really had a good time with. It's a little deck builder. We've only played it at 2-person, but we really enjoy it. We can steal friends from each other and, basically just be mean as we play with the most adorable artwork out there. Anything from Leader Games has beautiful artwork. We love that style and we're always looking at what's coming next. Brew from Pandasaurus Games was one that we only got to the table once. We gave it a try and loved it. You're collecting forest creatures, brewing potions in the woods. It's dice drafting and area control, and it was a lot of fun. We didn't get to spend as much time with it as we would have liked this month, but definitely that's coming back to the table real soon. If you like that style of game, highly recommend giving Brew a look. The award for Best Looking is a no-brainer. That one goes to Oath. Oath is absolutely the most beautiful game that I have owned, and I sadly have not got to play it in person yet. I have taken all the components out and oohed and awed and played with them a little bit. We did get to play on Tabletop Simulator, and thanks to a great teach by Prestine, who's over on the Discord server of Table Knots and Foster the Meeple, we got to play with Max from Table Knots, Jeff from Foster the Meeple, Dan from the server, and myself. We had a great time. There is so much to unpack here. We learned the rules, but the strategy will take a little bit more time. Building out the story is going to be a great adventure, and I can't wait to play again. And last but not least, the award for most likely to succeed goes to Paris City and Lights, or Paris la Cité de la Lumiere. Forgive my French. Nothing Duolingo can do is going to help this if a couple of years of college French didn't. This was a last-minute rush buy at the end of July, just sneaking it in under the wire because we knew we wouldn't be buying games in August and September. I had seen a review of this a couple times, but most recently over on Thinker Themer. This is a tile placement polyomino strategy game that layers one puzzle on top of another puzzle and then adds in strategic goals, and all of it takes place right inside the box. The colors are beautiful, the theme is amazing, and after one play, I cannot stop thinking about this game. If you ask me what I want to play right this minute, this is going to be my first choice. No doubt, hands down. I'm hoping to make a video about this one soon, but we'll see what happens. Otherwise, make sure you check this one out. It's published by Devere Games and designed by Jose Antonio Abascal. Take a look at this one if you like puzzly little games. It is 2-player only, but for us, that's perfect. In what seems to be a trend this month, I also managed to do some painting. I started working on a couple of the figures from Grim Forest. I thought they'd be a little bit chunkier and a little bit cuter, and it would be a good first step. It's still a work in progress, but we're having fun, and Billy is thrilled that I am finally painting some miniatures with her. Okay, now for the games in, games out total. Games out is simple. It was 0. But we're working on it. I made a list. Things are going to get culled or donated or gifted to friends. We can't keep as many games as we would like to. I don't have the time to play that many, and I want everything on my shelf to be a game that I would love to take off the shelf and play. So we're going to work on culling that collection a little bit. As far as Kickstarters backed, we did pretty well this month. We only backed 2 small Kickstarters. We backed Winter Haven Woods with absolutely adorable woodland creature artwork, and it's a small card game. There was no way I was going to pass that up. And Spires and Hildegard, which looks like an amazing storytelling game. So both of those are kind of small purchases on Kickstarter, so it's better than we usually do. I'm pretty happy about that. However, when we get to the games in list, there was a little consequence to no buy June. We didn't buy a single game or back a single Kickstarter in June. We thought we would take some time and play our shelves and see how it went. And it worked pretty well, except that we spend all of June deciding what we wanted to buy in July. We are agreeing to not buy any games or back any Kickstarters in August and September. So that meant I was trying to squeeze in some purchases in July. We have to make sure that October isn't an avalanche of games. But in the meantime, what happens when you don't buy any games in June and you know you're not going to buy any games in August and September looks a little bit like this. So this is a lot of games. This is insane. To be fair, some of these, like Quest and Coup, they came in from Kickstarter. We didn't buy them this month. Also, like Ares Expedition arrived this month, which we're looking forward to, but we didn't purchase it in July. I'm standing by that. We did get quite the little haul from Buttonshy. We actually got to meet with them. They had a pop-up event in their shop. We live pretty close by, so we decided to run down and say hi and, grab a few games. We did get a whole bunch, some of which I talked about, some I didn't. We got Agropolis to join together with our Sprawlopolis, In Vino Morte, Penny Rails, Pickpockets, Ugly Griffin Inn, Cunning Folk, Skulls of Sedlec. But the one we're really looking forward to is Liberation. It's kind of like a tiny version of Star Wars Rebellion, so we can't wait to be able to throw this in our pocket and take it with us whenever we go. You can't find better travel games than 18 cards in a little wallet that you can take anywhere. So highly recommend Buttonshy Games. We're going to be doing a video just based on them. We're going to go down and talk to them a little bit, just find out a little bit more about them. They're a small business based right here in New Jersey, and we love Buttonshy Games. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. We talked about Fort. I picked up Village Green as an impulse buy, little card game solo stroll through a village. We got Silver Coin and Silver Dagger. We got Paris. We got Chronicles of Crime 1400. We haven't done any of the Chronicles of Crime series, but we think this theme is going to be our favorite, so we're anxious to give this one a go. We got Skull King, which obviously we love. If you like trick-taking games, that's a no-brainer. We got Awkward Guests, which we have taken out and put on the table but haven't managed to play. I'm thinking that's going to be this week, hopefully maybe even this weekend. Really looking forward to this little better than Clue deduction game. Oh, goodness. Oh, we got Railroad Ink. Lush Green Challenge Edition, including all of the dice that I squeezed into this one box so I can take the Challenge Edition plus like 6 expansions with us when we go away on vacation. Great little game, one of our favorite roll and writes. Orchard, we talked about as a tiny little solo game. We got the expansion for Villainous, Perfectly Wretched, because we love Villainous and because July was ending and I didn't want to pass up on Peach, Cruella, and Mother Gothel. So we picked this one up on one of our last trips to the friendly local game store. We picked up the expansion for Everdell. We picked up Pearlbrook and Spirecrest. Spirecrest is tucked in here in the original box. I love Everdell. Haven't got Billy to play it yet, so I'm planning on throwing all the expansions in and just having a big Everdell day. Okay, we picked up Overboss early in the month, which I told you we played. Great little tile placement game. Blame Jeff and Jamie over at Foster the Meeple for this one, and thank them for this one. We picked up Survive, Escape from Atlantis, just because we're going down the shore for a week, and even with a family who doesn't play a lot of games, we thought maybe being attacked by a shark was a good beach game. So we're going to bring this with us and see if anyone survives. And then last but not least, we picked up Quest of Yore. I've talked a couple of times about RPGs. Billy really wants me to play them. I'm not great at them. I haven't had one that really clicked with me yet. So this is based on a Disney movie. It's based on Onward. It came with all the minis, a map, a full guide. We're going to give this one a go and hope for the best. So that was our crazy July. Not bad. We definitely need to play through these games. Let me know if you got anything great in July. We are going to be not purchasing any games throughout August and September. For some people, that challenge was so they could buy a lightsaber. For us, it's just to save money so we can head back to Disney. And, also because we spend a lot of money on games, and maybe food and housing would be great too. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see or you want to keep watching until we get one right, please like, subscribe, and share. As always, open tables, open minds, and play your shelves. It's like between two chairs, like between two ferns. Should get some ferns, just put them here.
No.
Just waiting for the fan to turn on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go paint some more.
No, it's just
oh my god.
I thought it would be fun if we did a July recap, since, we're almost a month. No, how are we a month and a half in August?
Yeah, no, say it. Say that. We're almost a month and a half. Time works differently now.
Like a turtle. Really?
Skibidi-bidoo-bop, bidoo-boop-bop. Badoo.